Why do I look so like? We start with something healthy. Support comes from Brickhouse Whey Protein. Now, I've got to be honest with you. I've tried my share of protein powders over the years, and most of them didn't do diddly squat. No extra muscle, no real boost of energy, and sometimes they even upset my stomach. The folks at Brickhouse Nutrition explain why, and that's because most powders are just low-quality protein mixed with cheap fillers like soy, corn syrup, and cellulose. Brickhouse Whey is different, though. It's bioengineered by doctors, not marketers. That means clean formulation, no junk, and superior absorption, so your body actually uses it. Since I switched, I've noticed faster recovery after workouts, more strength, and zero bloating because it's lactose-free. So if your protein powder isn't cutting it, switch to Brickhouse Whey for guaranteed results or your money back. Go to thenewwhey.com and use the promo code LEMON for 20% off. That's promo code LEMON at thenewwhey.com. All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Hot Topics. You see that face there. You recognize her. You know her. You love her. That is Texas State Rep. Jolanda Jones, still holding it down away from Texas. And we have some developing news, some breaking news, really. I believe that this is old school. I'll let the representative say it if she wants to, but reminds me of catching, okay? What they're doing to the representatives who went back. And we have the developing news coming out of Texas. I want to play that, and then Rep. Jones will discuss it with me. So here's the very latest. Remember, those lawmakers went back. They left Chicago and other places they were, California, wherever they were. They went back to Texas, and now, well, they're facing a certain fate.
Right now, Democratic State Representative Nicole Collier of Fort Worth is still inside the House chamber. She's locked inside that chamber, as a matter of fact, because she refused to sign a permission slip that places her under the custody of Texas DPS as a way to guarantee that she will show back up at 10 a.m. Wednesday when the House is meeting in session. That custody under DPS, it means that everybody who had to sign that waiver, all the Democrats who broke quorum, under 24-hour escort by Texas DPS. I exchanged text messages with Nicole Collier, and she tells me she's not ready to do an interview. She feels like this situation is as wrong as the congressional maps. She's the only Democrat who wouldn't sign that form, and as a result, she's the only Democrat who is still inside the House chamber. Democrats and Collier returned here to the Capitol today and received a hero's welcome from their supporters. The cheering erupted after dozens of House Democrats walked from the rotunda into the House chamber minutes before the session began at noon. Minutes later, there were more than enough House members inside the chamber, 120 of them. 30 Democrats still did not show up. Speaker Dustin Burrows said work will now get underway on the new congressional maps and other bills, including legislation responding to the deadly Central Texas floods from last month. Democrats who broke quorum will have to pay a $500 fine for each day they missed, and they will have to pay for the cost of the Texas DPS searching their whereabouts. Some Republicans want the Democrats to face more penalties, which was not discussed today. Democrats, though, are not happy about the permission slips that they had to sign to get a DPS escort, and they discussed Representative Collier's situation.
Because she refuses to sign this, because she says I'm not a child. If I give you my word and I say I'm coming back, I'm coming back. But this is just another example of the things that we need to do. Do you think that if we weren't going to come back, we would have walked in here today?
And I think that what the Democrats did a really good job of is uniting the Republicans, which hasn't happened for a long time. I've been here, this is my 6th session. The one thing the Democrats did really well is they united Republicans, and Republicans, we will change the rules. We will hold them accountable if they ever break quorum again.
Now, at this hour, the Texas House is set to advance these new congressional maps, and that's because the Texas Redistricting Committee is set to meet to advance it. They will discuss it. No testimony expected today. They will likely pass that out along party lines and then send it to the full House, which could then vote on it as early as Wednesday. The Texas Senate Redistricting Committee approved it last night, and the Texas Senate will likely approve it sometime this week.
All right. So Rep. Jones.
Yes.
I have the same question as someone. I think they misspelled. I think what they said she should have went back. I think she meant she shouldn't have gone back, right? That's the proper way to say it. She shouldn't have gone back. So, and I agree with Dark Avery Mariah. My question is, why did they go back? And then the next question is, didn't we expect that? Didn't they expect that?
So
much respect to, Representative Collier. Okay, I'm just saying, Nicole Collier, much respect to her, but okay, go on.
So I expected it. So I was not there. I'm in an undisclosed location. I can't speak for her, but I think there were some people who felt like they needed to go back to fight legally. I don't, and I didn't agree with that, because at the end of the day, there was no fight in the Texas House. In the Texas House, there are 88 Republicans and there are 62 Democrats. They vote along party lines. And so they were going to shove anything they want down our throats, right? So I absolutely expected that. And the only power we had was to not show up and to deny them a quorum so that they couldn't conduct this racist business. But some people wanted to go back, and they went back, and they are where they are. I know that I literally can't go back, because I'm not going to go back to a plantation. That permission slip that they signed, first of all, I call it a plantation permission slip. And that permission slip literally says that I agreed to subject myself to the custody of the police and to compel my attendance the next time we meet, which is Wednesday, to pass these racist maps. And if I don't, they can drag me there. So I wouldn't have signed it either had I gone back. And in what world do grown people have to get permission to do anything? The last I heard, I was born in America, not on a plantation. Last I heard.
Rep. Jones.
Yes.
You're right, but still, maybe I'm just wrong. I'm not understanding. I don't understand the strategy. If you leave, you guys spent all of that time, and then they say, okay, we're going to go back. But I mean, people are outraged as well. Yes, I think everyone is right. Yeah, they should. Why would they have to sign a permission slip? Why would they put them in custody? All of those things are wrong. But didn't they note that these are grown people who are public servants? Like, Texas, this is what Texas is going to do. And so, as my mom would say, why'd you carry your ass over there? You knew that was going to happen. I told you to stay your black ass at home. So why'd you stay? Why'd you go there anyways? I told you them people were going to do that. That's how they do. I don't understand this strategy. And I don't understand the shock and surprise that they have people outside of their homes, that they're locking them in the legislature. I'm not saying I agree with that, but we knew that.
We did, but common sense ain't so common. I mean, just like in the world, I knew it. I anticipated it. I thought to myself, if I needed these people to be able to conduct business and they come there, I need to make sure I keep them there. And so I need to stick the police on them to make sure when I need them to come back to pass these racist maps that they're back. And that's what they did. I mean, I thought that, which again is why I'm in an undisclosed location. But some people thought, they're not going to do that to us. We're elected. The publicity will be bad. They're just not going to do that. And they thought that people respected them, sort of like for a long time, President Obama thought that racist people respected him as president because they always respected the office, except for when you're black, there are different rules. And I guess some people found out on yesterday that we are not respected as we thought we deserved to be respected. And that's what happened.
Yeah. Look, and again, I want to say this again, because sometimes people don't get nuance, right? They think that you're shading people. I feel terrible for Representative Collier. This should not be happening to her. This should not be happening to any of the Democrats, any of the lawmakers who went back to Texas. I'm just trying to reconcile. And there she is sleeping. I'm trying to reconcile in my head, like, this is all great, but the fight is lost. It's over. They made quorum. And so
and the maps passed out of the redistricting committee with no hearings, no testimony, no answering any questions of Democrats who asked them questions about these new maps. They passed out yesterday. They're going to calendars today. They can be on the House floor actually as soon as Wednesday. And they'll be voted out, I think, this week. And we will automatically lose 2 black seats, which breaks my heart.
So then is she doing, I mean, is this all for naught? Can we show the picture of her? And again, this is terrible that she has to do this, but are we sure that if she doesn't sign this, she can't leave? I mean, she's a grown woman. She doesn't have to sign it. She can leave. What are they going to do? Are they going to arrest her?
So I'm a 30-year lawyer. I'm criminal defense. I can tell you what they could do if she goes out and tries to walk out. They could ask her to stop. If she does not stop, or if they put their arms around her, she could shake them off like most of us would do, and they could charge her with resisting arrest, which would elevate the civil warrants that they have to criminal and put her in jail. Although I don't think they're going to take her out of there because they need her body, her black body present to be on the House floor to make a quorum. And she could sit down on the floor and say, I'm refusing to go anyway. And they can charge her with interference with police duties. These are crimes in Texas where they could lock her up. So they could elevate her to criminal charges rather than the civil that she just has now. That is a possibility.
That's if she resists. What if she just walks to her car and gets in her car and goes?
Well, they can try to stop her. And if she doesn't comply, then they can start throwing on criminal charges, which we know the history of black people in America, that's what they do with us.
Yeah,
they were
resisting, and I felt unsafe. Right, I didn't feel safe. Or you get the tears, the white lady tears. You know what I'm talking about.
So
okay.
I mean, so I just think that she's letting everybody see what she's going through. That might be my red blanket right there, because I have a red blanket. It's a heated blanket, and I know I texted her last night and said, "Hey, my heated blanket is under my desk." So maybe my desk is right up to the right of hers. So maybe that's my blanket, because it's freezing in there. That room is freezing.
It's cold. So look, again,
it's
awful for her, and it should not be happening. I'll say that a 1,000,000th time. And perhaps this in some way is not good PR wise, you know, as far as the court of public opinion, at least, for the Republicans. And for the people who are making adults sign permission slips and making this woman sleep and be held up, virtually, you know, locked up. She's really under house arrest because this is a House floor, right? So
this is the House floor.
This is the House floor. She's literally under house arrest. So maybe there's some PR in there. I don't know. You tell me.
But you know what? I'll say this. You know, people don't know why Rosa Parks did what Rosa Parks did, but Rosa Parks was just tired, probably. She was like, I ain't moving.
Right.
So maybe Nicole was like, you know what? I'm tired of running. I want to go home, or I want to try, because she's a lawyer, right? So let me see if there's a way I can help legally to try to lay a foundation in a lawsuit with these maps. And so I'm going to go back. I mean, I don't know. I haven't had that conversation with her. But again, there are people who felt like they needed to go back. And I respect, you know, the decisions you make personally for yourself. I get that. You know, my decision was not. So, and maybe she said, I'm tired. I ain't going nowhere. And so she's there. And you got to respect that, because think about it. I can't remember how many of us went back, but if you're not in that room, you actually signed away your freedom. You had to sign the permission slip. She was the only one who said, hell no, I'm not doing that. So,
yeah. Okay. So listen, we love having Rep Jones on. If you're enjoying this and our discussion, and again, we like frank, honest discussion here, because I know a lot of you are wondering, why on earth did they go back? This is basically Rep Jones, and you can you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I need you guys to hit the thumbs up, hit the like, and make sure you subscribe and become a member. That's how we stay able to speak like this instead of normalizing all of this stuff. Now, have you spoken to the lawmakers at all?
To
And
my
what are
colleagues,
to your colleagues, the ones who went
yes.
back. Now, are they legit? I know it's legitimately, but are they legit surprised that what they are having to deal with once they returned?
A number of people are. I mean, there's a certain level of decorum that you have elected. Like, even if you can't stand somebody, you're
Correct.
polite to them.
Right.
One of our members is literally in the hospital, and
Mm.
she asked for an excused absence because she's in the hospital, and the Republicans voted not to give her the excuse, and she's in the hospital. So there is stuff going on that we haven't seen before, because what the Republicans will do is they will smile in your face and vote down your interests all day, every day, but they're polite about it. So there is literally no politeness. So yes, people are very surprised about that. But at least we get to see who they are. You know, they say when people show you who they are, believe them the first time. So if we didn't know who they really are, apart from the fake niceties normally, at least we know. The question is, moving forward, are we going to respond accordingly?
Okay, look, Rep, and there's someone in there again said, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I know that you've answered this. You said but did they give you any idea when you guys were going through this? Because this is what everybody's asking, right? They understand that this is horrible, that with the treatment that they're getting once they're back. Like Lisa G says, can you help us to understand when you guys, as much as you can take us inside, like what was the strategy? What was the reasoning that they were giving? I know it's not your reasoning and your understanding, but I'm sure they at least had to articulate it. No?
So there was a train of thought. Excuse me. There was a train of thought that we can't hold out forever, which for me, I was willing to hold out for however long I needed to hold out. And there was a train. These maps are going to pass anyway. And then my thought was the only way they pass is if we give them a quorum. If we don't give them a quorum, they don't pass. But some people thought people have too much going on. We aren't going to be able to stay there that long. They're only 2 Democrats away from getting a quorum. We can't ask these people to hold out. I believe that we would have had to hold out to about December 8th, because that's the last time to file for Congress for 2026. Some people were saying, well, the Republicans change the rules. They break the rules. They'll keep putting it off so that we'll end up having to stay out as late as May. I don't believe that that's possible, but some people did. And they were like, well, we're just not going to stay out from now until May. And so the next best scenario, because there's a lawsuit going on right now in El Paso challenging the racist maps that were drawn in 2021. Here we are 4 years later. The briefs for that lawsuit are due in September. And so what they're saying is, if we allow these racist maps to pass, because we know they're going to pass, then we could add that to the lawsuit that's going on now for the 2021 maps and show that it's racism upon racism to cut Black people and brown people off. And we think that that will help us win in the Supreme Court. And we have to let the maps pass soon enough so that the lawsuit that's going on now can be heard, because it goes straight up to the Supreme Court. So that's what they thought. I didn't agree with that strategy, but some people thought that, and that's why they went back.
Are you concerned about this? What Blaine Lejeune says, Dems are losing me. They're so weak. Is that concerning for you?
That is concerning for me, but I know that there are some people don't think that my colleagues who went back are weak. I believe that I'm showing Blaine. I hope Blaine knows that I'm fighting. I'm gone. And they will not fight me. I mean, they will not find me. I'm not going back to that plantation. It's just not going to happen. So there are some of us who are fighting. I think it just sort of depends on what you think the fight is, because it is my belief that my colleagues who went back actually think they're fighting.
Okay, and look, I agree. Look, you can decide what you want. Again, I'm here just reporting and I'm doing the comments. Is it because they will lose money, the reps, Unfolding Exodus says?
You mean if they stayed out?
Yes, ma'am.
So we are getting fined. So for sure, if we are fined $500 a day plus the cost of them looking for us, finding us, escorting in air quotes, because it ain't escorting. I think it's an unconstitutional detention, and it could be elevated to an unconstitutional arrest. And so, yes, I mean, I have a law practice that I'm not there. I'm not able to earn a living. I'm hopeful that my son can keep the law practice going because I believe this to be more important than my particular personal situation. So yeah, people are losing money. I mean, people that have jobs, we are a part-time, we are part-time. We don't get paid. We make $600 a month. I think I told you this before. So we have to work to pay our bills. We have bills just like you. We're not rich. So some people are not going to keep their jobs because they are away. So they went back to pick up their lives. I think that there are also people who believe that we have brought this a national awareness that no one was paying attention to what was happening in Texas. And perhaps now California will be able to redistrict Republicans out, and other Democratic states will be able to do that. And I think some people think that people are now so angry at the bullshit that the Republicans are pulling and the attempts to take us back to pre-Jim Crow, back to Reconstruction, and to unwind our voting rights and our civil rights, that people will be motivated to vote. So I think those are all thoughts that I heard coming out. And I just think it depends on your perspective, because my constituents, in no uncertain terms, unequivocally said, you bet a quorum break. And then once we were out, they were like, and you better not come back. And they was like, we will primary you. So I just think it depends, because I've had Anglo colleagues who were like, I haven't heard one negative thing about coming back. So I just think it depends on perspective, Don. And, like there's a difference between, say, Black media and mainstream media. There are certain things that you can't say on mainstream media that is truthful that you can only say on Black media. So I think it depends on the audience. And I firmly believe that everybody in this fight believes they're fighting, except for, I know myself. I'll be 60 in November. I'm a Scorpio. Wow. And I'm a Scorpio, but let me say this: between Malcolm and Martin, I'm Malcolm, right? Yeah. If they bust me in my face, I'm not about to pray for them.
That's me.
Right? I'm about to cut their neck off, right? And so
by any means necessary,
I understand that I am the agitator in the washing machine. And what I understand is the clothes ain't clean without the agitation. So I think that people are just trying to find their place in this spectrum and fight to the best of their ability.
But I got you.
So anyway, but hey, I say we should have never gave him a quorum. Is what I say.
So this is, look, I agree. Not all Dems are weak, and I agree with that. And I'm going to give you examples of that. But let me just tell you, if you're watching, just hit that thumbs up button for us. Just press the thing that looks like a thumb. Hit the thumbs up, okay? And I'm going to show you some Dems, what they're doing, who are not weak, okay? So first, though, stand by, Representative Jones. Stand by, everyone. You're watching us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I want you to make sure you hit the like button, the hearts, follow us. Stand by. A word from our sponsors, and we're back with the representative. Support comes from Beam. Let's be real. Summer doesn't mean life slows down. The headlines keep coming. The noise gets louder. The burnout is the goal. The rest, well, rest is resistance. And that's why I use Beam's Dream Powder. It is a natural sleep blend with ingredients like magnesium, reishi, and melatonin. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up clear, not groggy. Now, since I started using Dream, I'm sharper, I'm more focused, and my mornings no longer feel like I'm running out of fumes, okay? And the taste, smooth and delicious. It's become part of my nightly routine. And I'm not alone. Dream has improved over 17.5 million nights of sleep. Now it's your turn. Right now, Beam is offering up to 40% off of Dream Powder for my listeners. So go to shopbeam.com/lemon and use the code LEMON at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/lemon for up to 40% off. Sleep well, wake up ready. The fight continues. Support comes from Mint Mobile. You know what doesn't belong in your summer plans? A giant wireless bill. And I'm talking about those triple-digit charges that eat into your fund. That's why so many people, including folks on my team, are switching to Mint Mobile. With Mint, you get premium wireless on the nation's largest 5G network for way less money. And right now, new customers can get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for just $15 a month. Same coverage, same reliability, unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data, and you keep your own phone and number. So I've tried it, and the quality is the same as the big carriers. Clear calls, fast data, and big savings. So don't sweat your phone bill this summer. Get your unlimited plan for $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Don Lemon. That's mintmobile.com/Don Lemon. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Okay, so we're back with Representative Shalonda Jones. So, Rep, here's the real deal. There are people who are out there who are fighting. There are Democrats who are fighting right now, and I think the fight is gonna get harder and tougher. And we need people who are willing to fight with even more energy than what's coming from the opposition. This was on Friday. I believe that he's doing. You can tell me what you think. This is Gavin Newsom in California, the governor. Watch.
We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. We're doing it in reaction to that act. We're doing it mindful of our higher angels and better angels. We're doing it mindful that we want to model better behavior, as we've been doing for 15 years in the state of California with our independent redistricting commission. But we cannot unilaterally disarm. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear. We can't stand back and watch this democracy disappear district by district all across this country, not just in Texas, but in Missouri, where J.D. Vance went just a week ago, in Indiana, in places like Ohio, in places like Florida. We need to stand up, not just California. Other blue states need to stand up. We need to be firm in our resolve.
What do you say to that? Is he right? Do you have confidence?
I think he's absolutely right. I mean, if Donald Trump could just go and do what he does everywhere and be a bully and everyone just freeze and be afraid, I think he continues to do it because there's no consequence for it. Mm-hmm. But if all the Democratic states go and wipe out all the Republican representation, maybe he'll pause. So, we'll see. I just don't think that you can allow a bully to be a bully and don't do anything. And you'd be surprised. A lot of bullies are only bullies because no one stops them. You bust them in the nose one time. You bust them in the nose one time, and they're running, right?
We mean that figuratively, because nobody's saying nobody go punch someone in the nose.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying everyone. I mean, if you grew up in the hood like me, you've seen bullies before, right? And then you are afraid of them. You are terrified of them.
Yeah, if you come home and
then
you
fight back.
But George hit me. Did you hit him back? No. Okay. Go around the
corner.
Home.
Go right back. You better not come in there.
Hit him back. And then they're behind you, 20 feet behind you, looking around the corner to see if you are standing up for yourself. That's
right. And that's what I'm saying, figuratively speaking. Some people are real froggy with you. They feel real brave with you if they know you're afraid. But even that's why I think we were taught to fake it till we make it, and look tough. And so people are like, you know what? I'm going to find somebody else to bully. So I think that you have to do that. And I know that Trump is a narcissist. So I know he's losing his mind over Gavin Newsom. But I think that, he's losing his mind, right?
God, he's losing
his mind. But I'm hopeful that California can wipe them all out. I'm hoping that Illinois can, wipe them out. I'm hoping that New York, they can't do it until right before 2028, which is enough to keep him from winning the third term, because I absolutely believe that he's going to run for a third term if he thinks he can get away with it. And if he keeps Congress in 2026, I think that they will figure out a way for him to run for a third term. We will not get rid of that very evil, evil, evil man who is absolutely anti-Black and has been having lawsuits won against him for being racist to us as early as, I believe, the 80s.
Yeah. So look, someone said, Don, have you switched? I want to know, Lynn, what you're talking about. I don't know if I switched on anything, but anyways, let me know, Lynn, what you're thinking about. Okay. So as I want to relate, Democrats who are fighting back and Democratic strategy. Now, I listened to this young lady this morning and I like her energy. You tell me if you agree with her, what you think. And I love playing people on social media. Okay. And get me her name, please, because I like to give these creators their due. Tell me what her name is. I think I have it in the thing, but anyways, if you guys have it, let me know. But here she is.
Okay, so boom, have a seat and listen up. Matter of fact, move your thumb. It ain't time to scroll. Thank you. You see this photo of me and Governor Gavin Christopher Newsom shaking hands? It's because sometimes you gotta let bygones be bygones so you could get the work done, okay? You don't gotta agree with everything this man be on. That's your prerogative. But right about now, we in the squabble of our life and we need him on our team, okay? These people are out here trying to racially gerrymander their states so that black people and people of color don't have voting rights anymore, okay? The Supreme Court might just get rid of the Voting Rights Act next session. So be mindful of that. We on his squad right now, okay? We about to participate. We not finna mess this up again. We not finna do him the same way we did Biden and Kamala last year, which is how we ended up in the mess we in right now. We gonna ride, okay? And when he get out of line, we gonna hold him accountable. But as of right now, we gonna ride. We gonna do how they do in the family. If he do something that we think out of line, we don't show it off in public. We gonna bring him to the back and we gonna highlight at him and get him straight, because we already know what type of time he on in 2028. So he gonna act accordingly. But we not finna do this public show out right about now. We finna be one band, one sound, on the same page. You hear me? Now y'all know I'm a Cali girl, and Cali hold a lot of weight in this country. When it comes to taxes, we holding up like 15% of the federal income taxes in this country. Okay, we got one of the biggest populations in the country. We need these seats. Okay, Texas is trying to racially gerrymander their seats so that Republicans get 5 additional seats in the House of Representatives, which would make it hard for a Democrat to get elected anywhere out there. But aside from that, like I mentioned, the Supreme Court might just get rid of the Voting Rights Act completely, which is what we had to prevent all these kind of racist tactics. So Governor Gavin Newsom said today Liberation Day, homie. So since y'all don't want to back off y'all maps, y'all still want to play these games, Cali got something for you. Get spooked. Because we coming. We gon' pick-a-boo. What you thought? You thought that was? It's not a game. We out here. We with it. And we finna ride. And we finna ride. Do y'all hear me? And we finna ride. Okay. How the day you deserve.
She ain't lying. Don, she ain't lying.
Right, I'm telling you.
She ain't lying.
Right. Peekaboo. I love it that she said peekaboo and we finna ride. I love it. I mean, sometimes you just have to talk to people. That is the vernacular. That's what people are expecting. That's the energy. So she's not lying. And that was, I am legally hype. I am legally HYPE. That's what it is. So what do you think?
I think she's speaking truth to power. And right now, we can't afford to have the little divides. I mean, we are under attack. The one thing about the Republicans that defies logic to me, but it's always right for them, is they stick together. They walk lockstep. Trump says this to play, they run it. And you know, they say, united we stand, divided we fall. I mean, I know we've heard that. That's cliches. Right now, that's what Democrats have to do, which is why even if I have issues with Democrats, I mean, they really aren't the enemy. The Republicans are the enemy. The Republicans are the ones that are trying to drag us back onto that, like literally and figuratively speaking, for we elected people who our constituencies put us in office. They literally try to drag us back like they did with the slave patrols to a house floor, which is a plantation, and then tell us to take this. Y'all gonna take this? We gonna do it. And you gonna agree to come back and be a participant in your demise. And if not, the police gonna take you back. They got police sitting outside of our houses, right? Spying on us. We have state reps trying to figure out if they can make a break and jump out the windows in their house. What the hell? Like, seriously? I'm not about to walk out the back of my house. Like, and that, again, that's why I can't go back. Like, I'm in the middle of a congressional campaign. I can't go back. I can't even campaign. I refuse to go back and have the police monitoring my every move. I have a right under the United States Constitution to travel freely. You trying to tell me if I decide I don't want to go and vote for your racist map, that you're going to make me go do it? And when I know my no vote against those racist maps isn't going to mean anything because it's 88 of them and 62 of us. That's what you telling me? I don't have no privacy? None? You going to go to my house? Let's say I got a boo. You going to see what boo come to my house? Or I want to go. I mean, just little things you don't even think about. Right. Like if I want to go to the movies, you're going to go to the movies with me. If I want to go to the club, you're going to go to the club with me. What the hell? Like, what is that? This is not an escort. It's an illegal, unlawful, unconstitutional detention. That is what it is. And if I decide to say, you know how they say, ask, am I free to leave? When they say no, if you leave, they can then throw criminal charges on you. That's some BS. And so I cannot believe that I'm actually elected. My constituents told me corn break, don't come back. And you gonna arrest me? You gonna haul me back to the plantation? You gonna make me sign a permission slip? Hell, don't they stop signing permission slips in elementary school? I'm grown, right? In fact, I'm a grown ass woman who has a law degree. I'm not gonna sign it, and then you're gonna exert your power over me. That is intimidation. The state of Texas is intimidating elected officials. And let me be clear, we tend to have access to power. If we don't have power ourselves, we can pick up a phone and call somebody. And now you're telling me that if the government can do this to me, the regular person, the little guy, doesn't stand a chance. That's why we've got to stand up to this, because my constituents don't have a chance if they can do this to me, which is why I'm not letting them do this to me. But it is like, I have to laugh about this. I have to laugh about this because if it weren't so serious, it would be funny. I mean, we laughing about it, and we liked I am legally hyped. She wasn't lying. But these people don't respect us. They don't respect our positions. They don't respect our humanity. They don't respect the education we've got. They're like, we control your body. We control you. We're going to do it with the police. Bring your ass back. That's just wrong on so many levels. And so, like I said, I didn't go back. I'm not back. They don't know where I am. I'm in an undisclosed location because I'm not going to live my life under the guise of the police. In America, Don, you know this. Once slavery was over, they got police patrols to bring us back to indentured servitude or whatever it is the white folks wanted for us to do. And the police have always been used to oppress us and put us in our place, some way, shape, fashion, or form. And in 2025, they think they can do this. Now, this ain't 1825. This is 2025. I'm not about to let you do me like that. And some of us, again, we're fighting in our different ways, but they got me twisted. If they think I'm about to let them take me back to Jim Crow, to pre-Voting Rights Act, to Civil Rights Act. In fact, they might as well be smoking crack, because that ain't gonna happen with me. As a person who represents people who have addiction, these tactics that they're using, it is crazy to me. And the Democrats, we have got to stick together. We've got to have the same messaging. So we are fighting. I know I'm fighting. I will never stop fighting. And I'll be damned if I have them take me back with this modern day slave patrols. In fact, I'm not a house Negro. I'm not a field Negro. I'm a free Negro. And if I'm not to freedom yet, they're going to kill me trying to get me there, because I'm just not going back. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't hear you, Don.
Don,
if
you're
you're talking.
Pardon me. You said they got me twisted, but I thought you were going to say the other thing that we say. You got me, you know what, up. You don't have to say
right.
But, you can go there, because that's what I would have said. But yeah, look, I think you're speaking facts. I want to know from you, are you able to, I guess this is the only thing that you're focused on. Are you paying attention to other things that are going on in the world? Are you paying attention to the antics that happened in Alaska, or stuff that's happening in the Oval Office as it relates to Russia and Ukraine and all that stuff?
All I know is Trump is getting walked like a dog.
Okay, stand by. I want you to talk about that, because you are a lawmaker and you're very aware of what's going on. So why don't we do this? Because I want to hear what you have to say, because anything can happen, but I feel a certain kind of way about this meeting and what's going to come out of it and what's not going to come out of it. And you know, my saying is old people be knowing, right? So I want you to, everybody, hit the thumbs up, stand by. This is 2 minutes. I'm going to take an ad break, and then we're coming back with Jelana Jones, and we're going to talk about this Oval Office showdown, this Putin-Zelensky dog and pony show that's happening in Washington, and that happened in Alaska. But stand by. First, a word from our sponsors. Support comes from Ollie. If my dogs could talk, I know exactly what they'd say. Dad, stick with Ollie. The tails wag, the little hops, the goofy grin. Ollie food just makes them happy and honestly healthier too. Ollie delivers fresh human-grade meals made in U.S. kitchens with zero fillers or preservatives, just real food and flavors dogs go wild for, like beef with sweet potatoes or turkey with blueberries. Since switching, my dog's coat is shinier. All of their coats are shinier. They're more energetic, and yes, poops are better too. So take their quick quiz, and Ollie builds a customer plan for you, just your pup. So plus the only fresh food with unlimited routine health screenings included. That's what they are. That's real peace of mind. So go to ollie.com/lemon and use code LEMON for 60% off of your first box. That's ollie.com/lemon. Dogs deserve the best. And with Ollie, they're going to get it. We love Ollie for our dogs. Support comes from 120 Life. High blood pressure is serious. It is the #1 risk factor for mortality, and I've got people in my life dealing with it right now. So this hits home. 1 in 2 adults has high blood pressure, but the good news is you can manage it naturally. 120 Life is a blend of superfruit juices, clinically shown to help lower blood pressure. It's recommended by hundreds of doctors, and people see measurable results in just a couple weeks. You can even track it at home with a simple monitor. And it's not just for blood pressure. It supports overall health, heart health, and even benefits people who are managing diabetes. So try it risk-free. If you don't see lower numbers in 2 weeks, you get your money back. So go to 120life.com and use the code DON to save 20% off. That's 120life.com, code DON. Nothing to lose except those dangerous high numbers. Thank you so much to our sponsors. Thank you so much to our sponsors. That keeps us viable and on these streets. So do the thumbs up. So does your generosity. Okay, so Representative, here we go.
Yes.
You know what you think about this? Donald Trump was on Fox and Friends this morning, and you have to listen. Now he is saying, you know what happened in the Oval Office, but now he's talking about his foreign policy chops that he says first yesterday and the day before that he had prevented or stopped 6 wars. Now it's 7, but here it is. Watch.
Your turf on your terms. I know yesterday you talked about arranging a meeting to take place in 2 weeks between Putin and Zelensky. Is there an update there, and do you plan to attend?
No, I thought I'd do first let them meet. You know, they haven't been exactly best friends. They haven't gotten along very well. And I called President Putin yesterday, and I do have a good relationship, but it only matters if we get things done. Otherwise, I don't care about the relationship. I do have a good relationship with him, but I want to get things done. You know, I've solved 7 wars. We ended 7 wars. I thought this would be one of the easier ones, and this has turned out to be the toughest one. India, Pakistan, I mean, these were big ones, and also all big ones, and some going for 31, 32 years, one for 35 years. The Congo, think of that, the Congo and Rwanda for 35 years. I got that one done. I got them all done, but this one is the one that is the most difficult, and I thought it would be an easy one. So I hope President Putin is going to be good, and if he's not, it's going to be a rough situation. And I hope that President Zelensky will do what he has to do. He has to show some flexibility also. The thing is a mess. This was started by Joe Biden. This was a war that should have never happened. Millions of people are dead. The country's blown to pieces, Ukraine, and it's a shame. You know, my wife Melania wrote that beautiful note to President Putin about children. The children are devastated. They're taken away from their homes. The whole thing. And this is a war that would have never, ever, ever happened if we had a real president.
Okay.
You just tortured me, Don.
I know. I'm sorry, but it's important because he lied so much there. And by the way, let's put up the PolitiFact. I have the PolitiFact. Here's what it says. I stopped 6 wars. He said 7 now. You see what PolitiFact says. It is mostly false. And by the way, the folks who did this, basically what they're saying, I'll summarize it. They're saying that it's not as cut and dry as he says. And if you ask the people involved, they will tell you, the countries involved, they will tell you, he didn't have anything to do with this. What is it part of NATO, which is part of the United States? Okay, yeah, but he didn't really have any involvement in this. I think it's Pakistan or someone who's saying that he had nothing to do with it. So what do you make of that ranting, rambling, and then blaming Joe Biden? I think, look, it's Epstein derangement syndrome. Part of the reason he's doing all of this, a lot of these things, he's afraid of losing the midterm, so he's doing Texas, but he's also afraid because his policies are bad and he wants to get people off of Epstein. But what do you make of the rant right there?
So I think the rant, like one, I think he has some mental health issues, one, but two, I think that he's trying to distract. And three, there was no concrete anything. There was no ceasefire. He acts like he can control leaders of other free world countries, and he can't. And Putin came away looking like he was, I guess, presidential for his people. Trump came away looking like his dog. He was getting walked like a dog because he had nothing. And so I don't know. I know the president and why did we elect you? Why did you ask us to elect you if you're going to keep blaming stuff on Biden? And didn't you say when you were running, you were going to end that war within the first, 30 minutes or something? When you got elected?
Yeah.
However long he said he was going to do it.
Yeah.
So my point is, he is distracting because he has been not able to fulfill the promise that he made on the campaign trail. He was going to end the war in a very short period of time.
And he also got up from that meeting with these European leaders, which should have been the first, and with Zelensky. It should have been Zelensky and the European leaders, and then Putin to say, this is what we've come to. You got to accept these terms, blah, blah, blah. Instead, he did it backwards. I don't know why. The interesting thing to me, if you listen to the way that he and J.D. Vance, but mainly Trump, the way they speak to Zelensky, it's so disrespectful. They're so aggressive with him, but he has shown none of that aggression, none of that disrespect for Vladimir Putin, who is a war criminal. He has shown nothing but respect, applauding like, a trained seal or a circus monkey when he sees him getting off the plane. It's shocking to me. And then he left that table, that meeting, I believe it was early, to go call Vladimir Putin. I'm not just saying it. He said it this morning on the show. Watch.
During the meeting yesterday, when you decided to call Vladimir Putin, what was the reaction among the other people in the room, and what was President Putin's reaction to being brought into a phone call in the middle of your meeting?
Well, I think they expected it. I didn't do it in front of them. I thought that would be disrespectful to President Putin. I wouldn't do that because they have not had the warmest relations.
Disrespectful to President Putin? Are you kidding me? What? Putin is a thug.
He's a war criminal.
Yes. Disrespect. Putin wasn't even there. He doesn't think it's disrespectful to leave the people who are there, who are part of our allies in an alliance, who hurried urgently to get to Washington, D.C. to try to end this, and he doesn't think it's disrespectful to them. He should have said, I think it's disrespectful to them to have a conversation with Putin in their presence. And you know what I'm saying? But anyways, keep going.
Well, but Donald Trump is never on the side of right. He's always on the side of wrong. So actually, this was super predictable that he would do that.
Yeah.
And it's super predictable that he would try to put on the cool the people who were there and let them know you really don't mean much to me. This man is more respectful. You don't mean it to me. Now that's disrespectful. Yeah. And I'm not certain whether he does it on purpose or he's just oblivious. But whichever it is, it's just wrong. Yeah. And he's disconnected with what's right.
Here's the rest. Keep going.
And actually, President Putin wouldn't talk to the people from Europe. I mean, that was part of the problem. They
stepped out of the Oval Office to make the call?
They had no communication with the White House for years as people died. Years with Biden and his people. No communication. Putin told me. Years. It was years that he didn't speak to anybody from the White House. And it was a long time that he didn't speak to anybody from Europe. No, it's a fractured relationship. And when I came in, I always had, despite the Russia hoax, which truly was a very dangerous thing for our country, but despite that, I maintained a very good relationship. I mean, you saw that when he got off his plane, I got off my plane. There's a warmth there that you can't, there's a decent feeling. And it's a good thing, not a bad thing. People would say, oh, that's such a terrible thing. It's not a terrible thing. You know what? We've got the most nuclear weapons in the world and the most powerful. He's got second.
So can you describe for us how that happened? Did you just announce that you were going to go into the other room to make the phone call, and then you got up and left and then came back?
I think they sort of knew I was at the end of the meeting I was going to call President Putin, and President Putin expected it. And he was there. Now, by the time I called him, it was 1 o'clock in the morning in Russia. Russia's a big place. You know, they have 11 time zones, I believe, 9 or 11, but I think it's 11.
But
Think
Mr.
of it,
President,
11 time zones. That's a lot of time zones. So it was late. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, but he picked it up very happily. He's sure he works very hard, like we all do. And
they talk about Biden's cognitive issue. And hold on 1 second, Rep. They talk about Biden's cognitive issues. Is no one reporting or writing books on that? And well, I mean, why does he mention the time zones? Putin couldn't wait for a phone call. It's already 1 a.m. You have these people there in your presence personally. You could not wait to call Putin at some other time. I'm sorry. Go on.
Let me translate into hood talk what I just heard. And I want you to know, when you make me listen to him, you are torturing me. But that's all right. I'm gonna let you make it, right?
All right.
Here's the deal. So you make me come to you for a meeting. So I got to get there, right? And you respect me so little that you will literally get up where people know we're having this meeting and go call somebody else you think is important, who you literally didn't invite to the meeting. I'm going to tell you what I would have done. I would have got up and left because it's disrespectful. And when he's talking about Putin's work, now Putin was asleep. Okay, let me be clear. I think he was trying to do that to show that he had stroke, to see if Putin would answer the damn phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, he is literally using politics in his office to create political theater. I mean, remember, he did start off on The Apprentice. And I'm going to say this again. I'm sick and tired of President Trump bringing up Biden. Okay, Biden is no longer the president. What you doing to help us and to help the right side history? But let me be clear. Zelensky is respectful, right? But Zelensky shows power and restraint because Russia has Trump on his side. And of course, they are Russia. We've heard about them. And Zelensky is showing that with enough heart, you can stave off bullies, whether that's Russia, whether it's the United States, and you're going to do that. And he's been stately. He's been presidential. Trump and Putin haven't. And I really hate, and look, there's a lot to complain about in the United States, a lot, especially for Black and brown people. But I've traveled other places. And the truth is we have more democracy here and we got to fight for it. We got to fight to maintain it. But Donald Trump is doing irreparable harm to this country. He is literally disrespecting our allies. And Donald Trump has not figured out that we absolutely need the help of other people around the world. If the world turns on us, we are an island. We can be destroyed. And Trump just hasn't figured that out. So somebody's got to stand up to him.
Yeah.
So
I want to play this. You know Anthony Scaramucci, right? Do you remember he was his comms director and a friend? And
yes, I do know Scaramucci.
Yeah. Okay. This is what Scaramucci says about the relationship.
We did predict this out of power.
I can't hear you, Don.
What you think?
So first of all, we already knew that. You trying to act like.
Remember they were saying about wearing a suit?
He should have. He should have.
Because they were like, why didn't you wear a suit? This is what he should have worn if he was trying to, but you know, he's got a country and people he's trying to save. But I thought that was funny. And you know, actually on the mark. One more thing that I want to show you, because Rep, we're going to let you go. But I always like to end on a little humor because that's so or something to uplift people. I think that you're uplifting, you're a stand-up, you're a fighter, you're a warrior. Okay. So before we get out of here, I just want to share this with you and everyone. Here it is.
There's only two things in life that you worry about, whether you're healthy or whether you're sick. If you're healthy, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you're sick, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to get better, whether you're going to get worse. You get better,
you ain't got nothing to worry about.
You ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you get worse, you got two things to worry about. Whether you're going to live, whether you're going to die. If you live, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you die, you got two things. Whether you're going to heaven, whether you're going to hell. If you go to heaven, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you go to hell, you got two things. Original or extra crispy?
I needed that.
I needed that.
Yeah. We're going to be all right. I hope. I really do. I'm not so
well,
sure.
We got to hold the line, Don. We have to hold the line. We have to. Those racist maps are going to pass. They passed the House Redistricting Committee yesterday. They could be on the floor as early as Wednesday. They're going to pass. I'm going to pray for a miracle. I'm going to pray that the United States Supreme Court, that is owned by Donald Trump, will see the value in Black and brown humanity. That's what I'm going to pray for. But if not, we're going to have to vote like we've never voted before.
You know that old casting your pearl. I'm just saying. So if you go back to Texas, if you stay there, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If you go back to Texas,
I got two things to worry about. Can I stay hidden? If they don't catch me, I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
But if they catch me, am I going to jail or the House floor? But if I go to the House floor, I got two. No, if I go to jail, I can't vote against it. So that's fine. I ain't got nothing to worry about. But if I get caught, am I what? Am I going to vote against it? I'm trying to find the two things. But I get what you're saying. But you ain't got to worry. I'm not going back. I'm not going to go back to a plantation. It's 2025, not 1825.
Yeah. Okay. Let me put up your website because you are running. This is Representative Jolanda Jones, Democrat. MAGA Republicans broke it. Together we can fix it. She is running for Congress. She's also staying out of Texas. She's still keeping up the fight. If you would like to donate to her campaign, it's on you.
Please.
You do it, right?
Click on it and donate, because here's my problem. Because we got slave patrols in Texas, I can't go back and campaign like I ordinarily would. And so I've got to raise money so that I can get the message out, because this is a special election and people don't always know when special elections are. So I need, and when they attack me, because they're going to attack me, they coming for me. They trying to arrest me. The FBI is trying to hunt me down. I need your help. So I need for you to donate. Please donate now. I'm not asking for a lot, whatever you can afford. I need for you to donate to my congressional campaign, because I ain't scared of Trump, and I will be pleased to investigate him, impeach him, and vote against his shit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Representative Jolanda Jones, standing on business. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Don.
Thank you. You be safe. Okay, so look, I'm going to show you guys some of our, this is our, we love to show off our loyal, amazing supporters, some of the merch that you guys bought. You asked me about all the stuff. Who is this gentleman?
This is Armetta Allen from Maryland.
Is that a woman or a man? Let me put my glasses on because it got a baseball cap on. It could be a lady. Hold on. I think that's a lady. Oh, she's got a ball cap on. What is it?
Armetta Allen.
Hi, Armetta. Gorge. I can see now. I can see clearly now. My glasses are on. Thank you, Armetta. Very, very loyal supporter. We're appreciative. Who is this?
Carrie and Tara, aka Ms. Bella.
All right, nice. With the Lemon Nation merch. From where?
Hampton, Virginia.
Looks like Hampton, Virginia. Beautiful couple. Thank you guys for your support. Who else do we have?
Got Debbie Wilcox from New Jersey.
Hi, Debbie Wilcox from New Jersey with the Lemon Nation show, the Don Lemon show on, and Don Lemon, biggest fan. I told you these fans are like #1. Thank you, Reese Colbert, for that idea. Appreciate it. Oh, look, beautiful Lemon Nation shirt. By the way, that's my signature, in case you guys don't know, on that shirt. Who's this?
This is Sherlyn from Glendale, Queens, near where I live. Hi,
nice. Okay, who else we got? Is that it for today?
Stephanie from Brooklyn.
Hi, Stephanie. I love Stephanie from Brooklyn, and I love the Lemon Nation shirt. Thank you so much for your support. All right, so we asked, and they're sending it in. That's it. And then there you go. If you want to know anything about the show, you just go to donlemon.com. You can find out anything about the show. You can get, if you click on, just click on that, watch. If you click on watch, you can go right there for the join button and the subscribe. Subscriptions are free. You can just hit subscribe and then join button, and then you become a member. By the way, we'll see if it happens. We're getting a join button for iPhones. So we'll let you know. Should be here next week. All right. So look, Thank you guys so much. I'm going to see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you want to go, you can go in the merch store. Just go on donlemon.com, click on merch. You can go there and get everything that you need. Donlemon.com, get this hat, other stuff, the mug, everything. Okay. So we appreciate you watching. Until I see you back here at 10 a.m., you can, at 5 p.m. for Lemon Live at 5. You can be informed without being inundated. They're still doing construction in the studio. You can be informed without being inundated. Okay. And so until I see you back here at 5 p.m. Eastern, turn the TV off. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support.